Howdy folks, Tex Grebner here with Tex Grebner Outdoors. It is no secret that I am a heavy bow fanatic. It's what I like, it's what I do, and in the future I may get into a little bit more about what inspired me to shoot the archery tackle that I shoot. However, I get questions all the time about what I actually shoot through my 100-pound recurves. This is my 100-pound Mountain Monarch by Big Jim, aka the Mountain Monster. And it is an ebony riser block with green wood and bamboo core in the limbs. It is a beaver tail over a socketed grip, so this is a two-piece takedown recurve in 100 pounds. This is my first 100-pound recurve, and it is a Beowulf by Whitewolf Archery in 100 pounds. It is action wood riser, and it has ash core in the limbs. And while the Beowulf served just fine, there were things about it that I wasn't crazy about, and so I eventually ended up commissioning Big Jim to build me this Mountain Monster. With that being said, I don't actually own a chronograph right now, so there's no real way of actually quantifying this, so stay tuned, and I may eventually get a chronograph so that I can stack these two 100-pound bows up against each other. But I quite frequently get the question from people that are my kind of crazy, what arrows I shoot out of these two dragon-slaying elephant bows. The answer is, because I'm too cheap to buy grizzly sticks, I use Easton FMJ .250 dangerous game shafts. I cut them 30 inches and I use a 300 grain point, and I use two 100 grain brass inserts stuck together by turning down the end of the front insert and cutting threads on it so that I can thread another insert onto the back of it and stick it down the end of the shaft. I also use 5-inch shield cut feathers. But in the end, this arrow comes out to be 1,050 grains if I'm using the standard nock. But I cut them down to 30 inches. So there is grizzly stick, which also makes arrows for heavy bows. Basically, they're tembo arrow. You can go down about as low in arrow weight as 800 grains, but I wouldn't go any lower than 800 grains if you don't want to take any chances on blowing up your bow, because if you get an arrow that is too light, it basically simulates a dry fire, and that's really hard on your equipment. But 1,050 grains, FMJ .250 dangerous game shaft, and you don't necessarily have to cut threads and stick your inserts together like I have here, but I just find that switching out between field point and broadhead and hot sticking it in and then pulling it out with the arrow shaft together, or with the insert shaft threaded together, I find that that makes things a lot easier rather than having to take a piece of high tensile fence wire, pulling the nock out, and then pushing the other insert back out. As always, God bless all my sportsmen of America. Join the NRA to protect our rights. Please get my friends over at SOETacticalgear.com. Thank you very much to those of you involved in law enforcement and those of you serving in the military. Thanks for watching Tex Grebner Outdoors.